Okay. Hello, everyone. Well, okay, as you see, I have a new background. I guess it's Bookbus room. I'll tell you next time what you came to. Well, anyway, this time is for chapter 6. And I'm recording actually. So, okay. In chapter 6. So I'm gonna read it for you anyway. Chapter 6. Pig and Pepper. For a minute or two, she stood looking at the house and wondering what to do next. When suddenly a footman in livery came running out of the wood. She considered him to be a footman because he was in livery. Otherwise, judging by his face only, she would have called him a fish. A rap loudly at the door with his knuckles. It was opened by another footman in livery, with a round face and large eyes like a frog. And what footman, Alice noticed, had powdered hair that curled all over their heads. She felt very curious to know what it was all about and crept a little way out of the wood to listen. The fish footman began by producing from under sleeping from under his arm a great letter, nearly large as himself, and this he handed over to the other, saying in a solemn tone, "For the Duchess, an invitation from the Queen to play cricket." And Frog Footman repeated in the same solemn tone, only changing the order of the words a little. From the Queen, an invitation for the Duchess to play cricket. Then they both bowed low and their curls got entangled together. Alice laughed so much at this that she had to run back into the wood for fear of their hearing her. And when she next peeped out, and Fish Footman was gone, and the other was sitting on the ground near the door, staring stupidly up into the sky, Alice went timidly up to the door and knocked. "There's no use in knocking," said the footman, "and that for two reasons. First, because I'm on the same side of the door as you are. Secondly, because they are making such noise inside. No one could possibly, possibly hear you. And certainly, there was a most extraordinary noise going on within, a constant howling and sneezing, and every now and then a great crash, as if a dish or kettle had been broken into pieces. Please, then, said Alice, how am I to get in? There might be some sense in your knocking. The foot, the footman went on without attending to her. If we had the door between us, for instance, if you were inside, you might knock, and I could let you out. You know, he was looking up into the sky all the time he was speaking, and Miss Alice decidedly unsettled. But perhaps he can't help it, she said to herself. His eyes are so very nearly at the top of his head. But at, but at any rate, he might answer questions. How am I to get in? She repeated aloud. I shall sit here, the footman remarked, till tomorrow. At this moment the door of the house opened, and a large plate came skimming out straight at the footman's head. I just grazed his nose and broke to pieces against one of the trees behind him. And next day, maybe the footman continued in the same tone exactly as if nothing had happened. How am I to get in? asked Alice again in a louder tone. Are you to get in at all? Said the footman. That's the first question, you know. It was, no doubt, only Alice did not like to be told so. It's really dreadful, she muttered to herself. The way all the creatures are you, it's enough to drive one crazy. Oh, that's it. That's the illustrations. It's Alice and just the footman, I guess. So, next. Thomas seems to consider this a good opportunity for repeating his remark with variations. I shall sit here, he said, on and off for days and days. But what am I to do? Said Alice. Anything you like, said the footman, began whistling. Oh, there's no use in talking to him, said Alice desperately. He's perfectly idiotic. And she opened the door and went in. The door led right into a large kitchen, which was full of smoke from one end to the other. The Duchess was sitting on the three-legged stool in the middle, nursing a baby. The cook was leaning over the fire, stirring a large cauldron, which seemed to be full of soup. There's certainly too much pepper in that soup, Alice said to herself, as well as she could for sneezing. There was certainly too much of it in the air. Even the Duchess sneezed occasionally, and the baby was sneezing and howling alternately without a moment's pause. The only thing in the kitchen that did not sneeze were the cook and a large cat which was sitting on the hearth and grinning from ear to ear. Okay. Please would you tell me, said Alice a little timidly, for she was not quite sure whether it was good manners for her to speak first. Why your cat grins like that? It's a it's a Cheshire Cheshire cat, said the Duchess, and that's why pig. She said the large word with such sudden violence that Alice quite jumped, but she saw in another moment that it was addressed to the baby and not to her. So she took courage and one again. I didn't know that creature cats always grin. In fact, I didn't know that cats could grin. They all can, said the Duchess, and most of them do. I don't know I don't know of any of that. Alice said, I'm very politely, feeling quite pleased to have get to into a conversation. You don't know much, said the Duchess, and that's a fact. You don't know much, and that's the fact. Alice did not at all like the tone of this remark and thought it would be as well to introduce some other subject of conversation while she was trying to fix on one. The cook took the cauldron of soup off the fire and one set to work, throwing everything within her reach at the Duchess and the baby. The fire irons came first, followed by a shower of saucepans, plates, and dishes, and the Duchess took not notice of them, even when they hit her, and the baby was howling so much already that it was quite impossible to say whether the balls hurt it or not. Oh, please mind what you are doing, cried Alice, jumping up and down in an agony of terror. Oh, there goes his precious nose. As an unusually large saucepan flew close by it and very nearly carried it off. If everybody minded their own business, to just say in horsewhip, the world would go around a deal faster than it does. It's quite interesting to me, actually, but I'll pick one of the letter. Okay, next. Well, this is the. Oh, okay, I see. This is the illustrations. Next. which would now be advantageous, said Alice, who felt very glad to meet the opportunity of showing off a little of her knowledge. Just think what work it would make with the day and night. You see, the Earth takes 24 hours to turn around, and in excess, talking of excess, said the Duchess, chop off her head. Alice glanced rather anxiously at the cook to see if she meant to take the hint, but the cook was busily engaged in stirring the soup and did not seem to be listening to the listening. So she ventured to go on again. 24 hour, I think, or is it 12? I, oh, don't bother me, said the Duchess. I never could about figures. And with that, she began nursing her child again, singing a sort of lullaby to it as she did so, and giving it a violent shake at the end of the every line. Speak roughly to your little boy and beat him when he sneezes. He only does it to annoy because he knows it teases the chorus, in which the cook and the baby joined. Whoa, whoa, whoa! While the Duchess sang the second verse of the song, she kept tossing the baby wildly up and down, and the poor little thing howled so that Alice could hardly hear the word. I speak severally to my boy. I bid him when he sneezes, for he can thoroughly enjoy the pepper when he pleases. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Here, you may nurse it a bit if you like, the Duchess said to Alice, flinging the baby at her as she spoke. I must go and get ready to play cricket with the and she hurried out of the room and cooked threw a frying pan after her as she went out, but it just missed her. Alice caught the baby with some difficulty, as it was a queer shaped little creature, and held out its arms and legs in all directions, just like a starfish, thought Alice. The poor little thing was snorting like steam engine when he caught it, and kept doubling itself up and straightening itself up again so that altogether, for the first minute or two, it was as much as she could do to hold it. Well, as soon as she had met out the proper way of nursing it, which was to twist it up into a knot and then keep tight hold of its right ear and left foot, so as to prevent it undoing itself. She carried it out into the open field. If I don't take this child away with me throughout this, they are sure to kill it in a day or two. Wouldn't it be murder to leave it behind? said Alice the last word out loud, and the little thing grunted rapidly. It had left off sneezing by this time. Don't grin, said Alice. That's not all a proper way to expressing yourself. The baby grunted again, and Alice looked very anxiously into its face to see what was the matter with it. There could be no doubt that it had a very turned-up nose, much more like a snout than a real nose. Also, its eyes were getting strangely small for a baby. Altogether, Alice did not like the look of the thing at all, but perhaps it was only sodium, she thought, and she looked into its eyes again to see if there were any tears. No, were no tears. If you're going to turn into a pig, my dear, said Alice, seriously, I'll have nothing more to do with you. Mind now. The poor little thing sobbed again, or grunted. It was impossible to say which, and they went on for some while in silence. Alice was just beginning to think to herself, now what am I to do with this creature when I get in home? When it ran again so violently that she looked down into its face in some alarm. This time there could be no mistake about it. was neither more nor less than a pig, and she felt that it would be quite absurd for her to carry it any further. So she set the little creature down and felt quiet relief to see it throw quietly away into the wood. If it had grown up, she said to herself, it would have been dreadfully. It's okay. Dreadfully ugly child, but it makes a rather a handsome pig, I think. And she began thinking about other children she knew who might do very well as pigs, and was just saying to herself, if one only knew the right way to chain them. When she was a little startled by seeing the Cheshire cat sitting on the bough of a tree a few yards off. The cat only grinned when it saw Alice. It looked good-natured, she thought. Still, it had very claws and great many teeth, so she felt that it ought to be treated with respect. Oh, that's the cat. Cheshire Puss. She began rather timidly, as she did not at all know whether it would like the name. However, it only grinned a little wider. Come and please, it's so far, thought Alice, and she went on. Would you tell me, please, which way I ought to go from here? That depends a good deal on where you want to get to, said the cat. I don't much care where. Then it doesn't matter which way you go, said the cat, as long as I get somewhere else, added as an explanation. Oh, you are sure to do that, said Alice, if you only walk long enough. Alice felt that this could not be denied, so she tried another question. What sort of people live about here? In that direction, the cat said, waving its right paw around, leaves a heather, and in direction, waving the other paw, leaves a march hare. Is it either you like they're both mad? But I don't want to go among bad people, Alice remarked. Oh, you can't help that, said the cat. We're all mad here. I'm mad, you're mad. It's interesting too. I've tried it actually before. In the previous one, I mean, my first post, well, it continued. How do you know I'm mad, said Alice? You must be, said the cat, or you wouldn't have come here. Alice didn't think that proved it at all. However, she went on. And how do you know that you were mad? To begin with, said the cat, the dog's not mad. You grant that? I suppose so, said Alice. Well then, the cat went on. You see a dog growls when it's angry and wags its tail when it's pleased. Now I growl when I'm pleased. I wag my tail when I'm angry, therefore I'm mad. I call it purring, not growling, said Alice. Call it what you like, said the cat. Do you play croquet with the queen today? I should like it very much, said Alice, but I haven't been invited yet. You'll see me there, said the cat and vanished. Alice was not much surprised at this. She was getting so used to queer things happening. While she was looking at the place where it had been, it suddenly appeared again. By what became the baby, said the cat. I'd nearly forgotten to ask. It turned into a pig. Alice quietly said, just as if it had come back in a natural way. It thought it would, said the cat and vanished again. Alice waited a little half expecting to see it again, but it did not appear. And after a minute or two, she walked in the direction in which March here was set to leave. I've seen headers before, she said to herself, and March her will be much more interesting, and perhaps this is May. It won't be raving mad, at least not so mad as it was in March. When she said this, she looked up and there was a cat again, sitting on the branch of the tree. Did you say pig? Or fig, said the cat. I said pig, replied Alice. And I wish you wouldn't keep appearing and vanishing suddenly. You make me You make one quiet kitty. All right, said the cat. And this time it vanished quite slowly, beginning with the end of the tail and ending with the brain, which remained some time after the rest of it had gone. Well, I've often seen a cat without a grin, thought Alice, but grin without a cat, it's the most curious thing I ever saw in my life. That's the cat. She had not gone much further before she came inside of the house of March Hare. She thought it must be a right house before the chimneys were shaped like ears and the roof was thatched with fur. It was so large a house that she did not like to go near till she had nibbled some more of the left-hand bit of mushroom and raised herself to about 2 feet high. Even then, she walked up towards the rather tiny place and to herself, suppose it should be raving mad after all. Almost wish I'd gone to see the hatter instead. Okay, that's the end of chapter 6. You can see his chapter 7. Well, actually, we're in the half of the novel. I don't know you watch my video till the end or not, but if you see this, I want to get to know who are this person who watched me till the end, even till the chapter 6. I just got curious actually, but I don't know. I just come back from my college. Yeah, that's here I am right now. After this, I'm gonna make a post and it was about the quotation of chapter 6. So maybe if you are boring and listening my voice, because I think I read it very bored in a very boring tone. So maybe no one watch till this part. I'm sure about it. Yes. Even myself, well, I don't want to watch this video. Or maybe someday I will watch it if I miss my old version. But I'm not talking about. Well, okay, that's all for me. Let's stop share. Okay, see you then. Thank you.